A very good afternoon to you all our viewers all over the world, and welcome to yet another session of EduQ Analytics as sponsored by Safe Publications. Today, we are to zero on balanced diet and nutritional disorders. Balanced diet and biomass index, BMI. The balanced diet. The food we eat within 24 hours a day make up our diet. It is the total of the nutrients needed by the body. A balanced diet is the one that contains all the nutrients needed to drive life processes in their correct amounts and right proportions to maintain good health. It should contain enough carbohydrates and lipids for energy provision, proteins to provide amino acids for cells and tissues formation, vitamins, mineral salts, water, and dietary or plant fibers. Specifically, it should contain fats, proteins, and carbohydrates on top of vitamins, water, and dietary fibers. The Food Guide Pyramid. This guide shows the amount of volume of food from each category an individual should eat every day depending on his or her level of muscular activity. The exact amount of volume to be consumed is indicated as servings and described herein: 6 to 11 servings for cereals, rice, bread and pasta group, 2 to 4 servings for fruits, 3 to 5 servings for vegetables, 2 to 3 servings for meat, poultry, fish, eggs and nuts group. Likewise, 2 to 3 servings for milk, yogurt and cheese group. But fats, oils and sweets should be ate sparingly. For details of how much of each food nutrient one is supposed to take in, kindly refer to the Food Guide Pyramid in our biology book, with comprehensive notes for Ugandan lower secondary curriculum titled LSC Biology Kindle Volume 2. The need for a balanced diet. The balanced diet is important in enabling us to balance the energy intake and the energy demand. Energy requirements. Energy can be obtained from carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. This is energy needed to keep our internal body processes working, such as heart beating and breathing action, etc. Maintain body temperature, and meet needs of work and other activities. The body energy needs depend on 3 main factors. That's age, occupation or activity, and sex, and these in turn affect our dietary needs as discussed below. Age. As children grow, the energy need increases due to increased energy demands for the growth process and the extra energy required to maintain body temperature up to maturity. However, as we age, the energy demands decrease due to decrease in metabolism or basal metabolic rate as a result of progressive loss of muscle tissues. Metabolism is the sum of all chemical reactions that occur in the body. It is driven by energy from respiration. Basal metabolic rate decreases as a person gets older. This is the energy required to stay alive at complete rest or sleep. It is used for breathing, excretion, thinking, and keeping constant body temperature. Occupation or activity. Increase in activity or exercise level, increases energy demand due to increased energy consumption for muscular work and extra temperature regulation. For example, a sedentary office worker needs less energy compared to a road worker of the same sex and age. Therefore, physical activities like sports or athletics and manual work like digging require much energy than someone who sits in the office worker, or one who rarely do much physical exercise. Thus, the former needs more carbohydrates and lipids in the diet. Sex. Females have lower energy requirements than males. This is because females have a lower body mass that has a lower demand on energy intake than males, and have different physical demands due to different physiology and physical abilities. However, active females, pregnant and breastfeeding mothers have a higher energy requirement than inactive ones and the rest. Therefore, adult males need more energy than females of the same age due to increased muscular activity. However, pregnant and breastfeeding mothers need more energy than a normal adult man. Special energy needs. Pregnant women. The pregnant woman needs extra food, especially proteins, calcium, iron, vitamin D or folic acid, to meet the demands of the developing baby. Proteins are needed for making tissues, calcium and vitamin D for bone development, and iron for making hemoglobin in blood of the baby. Lactating mothers or breastfeeding mothers. Breastfeeding mothers need extra food, especially proteins, vitamins, and calcium, to produce milk of adequate quality and quantity for the baby. Since production of milk that is rich in proteins and minerals makes a large demand on mothers' resources as a result of increased metabolism. Growing children. Children below 12 years need less food than adults, but they need more, especially calcium, iron, vitamin D, and A compared to their body weight. Extra calcium is needed for growing bones, iron for formation of hemoglobin in red blood cells within blood, vitamin D to calcify bones, and vitamin A for disease resistance. Refer to the book for details of the graph. Effects of imbalanced diet. When we under or overeat, malnutrition results. Hence, we need to balance energy intake and energy demand. This is because if we eat less energy than the body needs, then the body's own tissues are broken down to be respired. That's if a person doesn't eat enough of a particular nutrient, he or she develops deficiency diseases. Similarly, taking in too much of a particular food nutrient, example, more energy, is bad. For example, eating too much fats or lipids, especially animal fats and carbohydrates, means that you are taking in more energy than the body needs. So, the body stores the excess of these nutrients as fats in the abdomen, around the kidneys, or under the skin in fat deposits. Too much fat stores or excess fats in the body lead to obesity or overweight and atherosclerosis, which cause damage to joints, increased risk of developing coronary heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and high blood pressure. Effects of eating more carbohydrates than the body needs. If we eat more carbohydrates than we need for our energy requirements, the excess is converted in the liver to either glycogen, or lipids. The glycogen is stored in the liver and muscles, while lipids are stored in fat deposits in the abdomen, around the kidneys or under the skin. The body can store a limited amount of glycogen, but stores unlimited fats to enable it to survive prolonged periods of starvation. However, excess fats can lead to obesity and atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis leads to stroke, heart attack, cardiac arrest, hypertension, and kidney stones. Obesity increases the risks of life-shortening diseases like diabetes, breathing difficulties, osteoarthritis, joint pain, and atherosclerosis. Also, too much sugar can cause teeth decay as well and diabetes.